Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, inquire for purchase at the email tmosso@thewatchbox.com, the new direct service line for you, to me and my crew, with all your purchase inquiries concerning this or any watch here on Watchbox Reviews. And today we are discussing the Breguet Tradition reference 7027BR Rose Gold, a model launched in 2005 that answered the question, what does a post-pocket watch 21st century Breguet dress timepiece look like? The answer is this. It's an homage to the era of Abraham Louis Breguet, as well as a testament to the ingenuity of modern Breguet watchmaking. On my wrist, 16 centimeters in circumference, this is a 38mm rose gold case, and as you can see, it is nicely sized, 11.8 millimeters thick with a domed bezel. It slides underneath any dress cuff with ease. From lug to lug, discreetly sized at 45.2 millimeters. I can recommend it for a wrist as small as 13.5 centimeters circumference, maybe even 13. Though the spacing between the lugs, happily, is a conventional 20 millimeters, not a vintagey 19 or 18, so any 20 millimeter strap will work. I want to call your attention to the level of detail Breguet has executed, as bars and screws retain the strap to the case rather than spring bars. This is a more expensive but more secure and reassuring method of attaching a strap. No expense spared. Large rectangular scale alligator, the most expensive kind, blackened with a monotone stitch and a folded edge. Calfskin on the underside. You can see this is a brand new Breguet factory strap. You can be the first to gouge it or crimp it. A matching rose gold pin buckle, and then we jump to the case where you can see Breguet uses a welded lug profile. The lug is welded to the case with the evidence of the welded joint removed by hand to create these handsome straight cleft marks between the case band and the lug profile. That junction, that sharp V profile, executed entirely by eye and hand. The case is cold rolled to create this coining and then hand finished afterwards, and you can see that there's a double step to the bezel with a lip on the bezel flank as well as the case back flank for handsome symmetry top to bottom. The bezel in a polished domed profile, giving way to a dial that is a love letter to the pocket watch era but highly contemporary. Let's talk about some of the techniques that are used here. Now, in terms of referencing pocket watches, you can see that there is a Breguet dial with Breguet hands. This is actually cut on a traditional rose lathe by a guillocher, an artisan who first freehand sketches and then programs the cams of the lathe to create this guilloche cut. It's black galvanized, but make no mistake, this hand guilloche dial is made of solid gold. You can see the power reserve indicator for the 50-hour power reserve adjacent, the barrel right at the center taking pride of place as the focal point of the movement, and then you can see individual half bridges or finger bridges for the drivetrain, starting with the great wheel, the third wheel, the fourth wheel, the escape wheel, the pallet, and then the anchor, and then the balance. Now what you see here is this train design using these bridge shapes as well as half-bridge architectures designed to evoke Breguet pocket watches. Moreover, you can see that the spoke pattern of the wheels is designed to resemble pocket watches from the era of Abraham Louis Breguet and his sons. Now, you'll appreciate that there is a frosted finish on the dial base that's created by a media blasting, but there is a mirrored anglage, and you can really see it to good effect on the edge of every bridge. Modern anglage is executed here, and there's the same treatment, the mirrored finishing for all of the jewel and the screw countersinks, with satin graining on the wheels themselves. You'll note black polished screw heads with chamfered slots and circumference, and then we get to the balance, which is beating away at a stately 21.6 beat rate, but you can see it as a modern balance with recessed aerodynamic bolt profiles to remove even that small bit of aerodynamic drag. It's also a variable polar moment balance as these gold screws move in and out to change the moment of inertia, and as a result, the speed of the balance, faster or slower for precise regulation, and the watch is adjusted in 5 positions like a chronometer. You can see a handmade Breguet overcoil hairspring, allowing the watch to beat concentrically and keep similar time in any position through those 5-position chronometer style adjustments. Most watches keep very different time in different positions because the hairsprings don't have centered mass. With an overcoil, that problem is solved. You'll note that there is a satin-finished steel overrider atop the capstone of the balance, and that is the parachute shock protection system that Abraham Louis Breguet himself originally created for his pocket watches. It was a pioneering shock protection system. This is caliber 507DR in a 30-meter water-resistant case, and as you can see, the movement features a second power reserve indicator on the case back with more of those antiquarian-style bridges, satin-finished individual wheels, and you can see that the 507DR is beautifully and deeply beautifully engraved on its reverse side. Again, launched in 2005, this watch and this movement were created perfect. A wonderful manual winding click feel as well. It's a pleasure to wind from a tactile standpoint. This 34 jewel movement is a work of art in a fashion that is scarcely seen in modern wristwatches, as it combines the best of the past and present with an eye toward the future. Again, email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for your purchase inquiries, and you can see and buy this watch on the Watchbox.